What's up, guys? Burning Blaze 2149 here, and today I got another Street Fighter V video. See, after making the Street Fighter V lore leaks, I thought, why not make a video talking about who do I want to see return in Street Fighter V? I could say who I want to see new, but I can't do it. I just can't. But I want to talk about who do I want to see return, my top 5 characters I want to see come back to Street Fighter V in the main roster or not. I want everyone to keep this in mind while I'm talking. The character roster is going to be 16 characters in the initial roster, and future characters will be DLC. So don't expect a roster of like 80 million characters. With that said, I still think we should see characters come back as DLC or even new characters. But yes, who do I want to see return in this game? Well, I have some rules. The first rule is no special guest characters, such as like that guy from Akira, I forgot his name, or like PlayStation characters, since Sony is apparently funding the game. So no PlayStation characters. And second, they have to be from the second Street Fighter and onward. So this means like everyone from Street Fighter 2 and onward is viable. And my third opinion is, well, that's the thing, it's my opinion. That's my third little rule. So with that said, let's move on to number 5. Now Q. Oh man, Q. This guy is probably one of the most forgotten Street Fighter characters out there. I mean, you probably remember, I don't know, Oro before you remember Q. Q is such a mysterious guy, which is why and he's such a cool character, which is why I hope he returns in the game. Now, it's probably unlikely because Capcom maybe forgot about him, but in case they haven't, put him in the game, please. I just love Q. He's a mysterious character who's linked to many worldly disasters. Who doesn't like a person who's linked to like natural disasters and stuff? I just found that really cool. He has a metal face, and his playstyle is strictly just brawling. He doesn't have people like do the work for him. He doesn't have any weapons. He just does it by himself. I just thought that made him such a cool character. So with that said, I only put him at number 5 because I just don't see him coming back, but just in case Capcom hasn't forgot about him, put him in the game, please. He's just so mysterious and awesome. I would love to see him return. Number 4. Alright, Juri. I'm gonna be real with everyone. I don't expect Juri to return, or at least be in the initial roster. It's mainly because this Street Fighter seems to be focusing on classic characters instead of ones that appeared in Street Fighter 4 and the various other versions. I mean, Juri, the only reason I put Juri above Q is because Capcom probably knows Juri more than Q. That said, I hope Juri does return because she's the only Street Fighter 4 character, aside from maybe Abel, that I would like to see come back. I just liked her as a character. She was so, like, into fighting like Ryu for some reason. She's like a girl version of Chun-Li because both characters like use a bunch of kicks, and she also has this cool little Fangu Shing engine eye, which is basically like her eye was so badly damaged she had to get replaced, and she beat up Seth, the main bad guy of Street Fighter 4, so that give props to her. So with all that, I don't see her exactly coming back in the main roster, but I would still like to see her in the game. Number 2, or 3, I'm stupid. Alright, this next character. Yuri, I think, is coming back. Initial roster or not, he's coming back. It's mainly because in the Nash and Charlie trailer, Charlie/Nash, Charlie has the green gem, and that gem is related to the Illuminati symbol, not the one on the dollar bill, but Street Fighter's Illuminati. They're like the main bad guys for Street Fighter 3. But I I think Yuri is coming back. I mean, he isn't my favorite character in Street Fighter 3, but I just don't see why he wouldn't come back. He's such an amazing character. I just like playing as him. And since again his gem has been found on Charlie's face, that has to say something because Charlie, I believe, died in some shape or form. As one of his quotes says, he was revived to kill Bison, nothing more, nothing less. So and people who are part of the Illuminati, like Yuri, can revive themselves. Gil can revive himself. So I think it's safe to say that Yuri is coming back. And I liked him in general. His playstyle was just so fitting for me. Number 2. Oro. I just like saying it like that. Oro. Oro is such a mysterious character. Not mysterious, but such a controversial character. You either love him or you hate him. I personally love Oro. He's a hermit guy who's trying to reach immortality and is so overpowered that he has to tie one hand behind his back just so he doesn't kill his opponent. That is just awesome. I think, and seeing Oro is a classic character and they're bringing back classic characters, I think he has a really decent shot. In terms of movesets, just keep it the same. Have him fight with one arm, have his final special thing be like tossing a supernova. I just love using that move. It's so fun to use. Oro just seems like a really cool character. He's a classic. He's not remembered, but you recognize Oro more than you recognize Q. You have to be real here. But he isn't my number 1. Number 1 is Alex. I just love Alex. He isn't my favorite Street Fighter character, like in terms of gameplay. But he's definitely up there. He's like in the top 5. Alex was actually the main character of Street Fighter 3. And I just really liked Alex as a character. He seemed confident. He was such a cool character, and I just love him, his play style, his kickboxing. Now I'm kind of worried about Alex because some characters have had all these wrestling-like moves, like the new Elite character seems to have that, and it doesn't help that Zangief is back, which doesn't mean anything, but considering the fact that, what I was trying to say here, considering the fact that Alex has a wrestling playstyle, that kind of worries me. But I'd still hope he makes it back. He would make too much sense. It looks like Street Fighter V is actually taking place after Street Fighter 3 in a timeline sense. So I wanted to understand, since Alex was the main character of that game, why wouldn't he not be back? After all, if Yuri is coming back, which I'm confident in, why wouldn't they bring back Alex? Plus, there was that potential teaser on Ultra Street Fighter 4. He has a poster of himself which says, "I will be back." Hello? Teaser? I really hope Alex comes back. And with this whole rumor going around, which seems to be legit so far, I could see him returning as a playable character. I hope he's in the main roster, not at additional characters, because I just prefer him in the main roster, because he's just such a cool character. One of my favorite characters from Street Fighter in general. So I hope Alex makes a comeback, and bring back Alex. Free Alex. So that's my 5 characters I would like to see in Street Fighter V, DLC or on the initial roster. So who do you guys want to see in Street Fighter V? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll try and respond to many as I can. With that out of the way, I will see you guys later.